Hi class, Garrett here. I did chapter 24, Safety and Security after 9/11. Just to give you kind of a background on the case, it's between two individuals, Lester and Melissa. In terms of the setting, it's in Arvado, Colorado, at a post office. So basically, Lester, who is the mail carrier, he has been working for the post office for 35 years. For the past 20 years, he's actually worked at the Arvado post office in Colorado. Melissa is his supervisor. She's been his supervisor for the past 2 years. Over the course of the first 2 years, they really haven't seen eye to eye. They have different points of view, you could say. Actually, in the last year, Melissa's written up Lester in two cases for insubordination. So they aren't really getting along, and there's kind of a lot of tension between the two. And so the main case starts on February 23rd. Lester was delivering his mail and decided to cut his route early. He was feeling overstressed and just couldn't make it through his route. So he ended up walking into the post office. Melissa had asked him why he had not finished his route early, and he explained that he was feeling overstressed and that he would have to take a few days off for medical leave. After he came in and kind of explained this to Melissa decided to kind of have a formal meeting with him and invited him into her office and to just kind of discuss what was going on, what he was feeling. So in that moment when they're discussing, they were interrupted by one of the other supervisors. So Melissa ended up leaving her office, leaving Lester in there for a good 2 or 3 minutes. While Melissa was gone, the supervisor pretty much informed Melissa about a new policy requiring the supervisors to assist any type of employee that was feeling tension or stress that would require a medical leave. So she went back into her office and informed Lester that she would have to assist him to go get medical attention or go see a doctor, basically. And Lester did not like that. Now, just to be clear, it was just a strong recommendation that the supervisors were to assist the employees to go see medical help. So it wasn't exactly like she had to. It was just more of a strong recommendation that was implemented by the post office. So once she had told that to Lester, Lester kind of blew up on her, didn't want her to go to the doctors with him, and he had asked at that point to go back to his truck to go retrieve the mail that he had not delivered that day. Upon return, he actually brought in a butcher knife, and he was holding it above his head, I'm sorry, and just kind of intimidating Melissa. And Melissa, just kind of was terrified, and she had asked Lester to put the knife down. I think on 3 different occasions she had asked him to put it down. Finally, he put it down, and he went back into the break room. At that point, Melissa had called 911. Police arrived and questioned both Melissa and Lester, and it turns out Lester was actually obtained into custody for 3 different reasons. The first being intimidating a supervisor, the second was workplace violence, and then the third was possession of a dangerous weapon. So after the police kind of saw that and questioned him, they brought him into custody, and then Lester was relieved of his duties as a mail carrier. So what I had written for the central issue and to go in depth on my central issue. The central issue with this case focuses on the supervisor and the employee. In this case, the relationship between the employee and the supervisor obviously had a lot of tension, and I think that breaking point was when Melissa had told Lester that she was going to have to bring him to the doctor, even though it was just kind of like a strong recommendation from that new policy that was implemented. Um, I guess just in conclusion, although Lester did do something wrong with Melissa, like by bringing in the knife. I think Melissa maybe could have communicated better with Lester, just kind of explain the new policy and why it was being implemented, and maybe just give him more of an opportunity to um, explain why he did not want Melissa to take him to the doctors. So just a few questions for you guys, just wrapping up. Do you think the Postal Service supervisor acted appropriately to the alleged threat posed by Lester's knife in her office? Should postal employees be searched and go through metal detectors when reporting to work? And the third question, based on your limited information, what you have upheld, based on your limited information, would you have upheld Lester's discharge on the charges indicated? Thanks again, class, and hope you guys have a good one.